All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to this new episode of Global Entrepreneur. I'm here with Bhavika. She's amazing. She's an aerospace engineer just like me. So I guess we're going to have a lot of fun talking about, space technology and other kind of cool technology and her experiences. So, Bhavika, why don't you tell us a little bit more about where you're from and your experiences and where you are right now?
Yeah. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for having me. I'm Bhavika Wani. I'm actually from India. Uh, I'm an international student pursuing aerospace engineering at University of Cincinnati. Um, I started my startup last year. In fact, it will be an year that we started it officially tomorrow. So 3rd April is like 1 year anniversary for a startup doing starting things.
Awesome.
Uh, yeah. Um, my startup is Ambifly. It's a drone technology where we're trying to bridge the uh, we're trying to bridge the emergency medical services and emergency situations in times of when they have long response times. You know.
Yep.
So yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, I found like that's super cool. So tell me a little more about your experiences traveling abroad. So you said you're from India. I also saw on your LinkedIn profile that you've been to France before,
Yeah.
and you've also and then you also moved to the US to go to college. So how was that process?
Yeah, so I came to US in 2017. I started my aerospace engineering master's in aerospace then, and that was the year when our college actually started a new program where you go for a semester to France,
Oh, cool.
which was really interesting because I actually wanted to go to Europe because, as we know, Airbus is there,
Yeah.
and it's France is like another level of aerospace industries. So I took on that opportunity. We were like the pilot program, which was quite, it was not a very easy path for us because there was no one else who had ever done this before.
Hmm.
And when you come on an international student visa, there are many other restrictions that come upon you. That you're traveling, you are already on a visa and you're trying to go to another country, which is again another visa. So we had to face quite a lot of issues, different scenarios, but I remember getting my visa like a day before my flight.
Oof.
It's crazy. Yeah,
Wow.
I literally got my passport on 30th of December, 31st of December, and my flight was on 1st January 2018 to France.
Okay.
So I went to France to study more of aviation maintenance and drones. So I studied both of that there, which it was an amazing experience. I mean, it was something that I'll never forget in my life because it was altogether a very different country, different culture, people speaking French, no one knows English. So yeah, that was
How
pretty cool.
how did you cope with the language barriers?
Um, Honestly, I don't. I always used to learn via Duolingo. Like Duolingo is an app where I tried learning French, and then we also had classes. They had classes for international students,
Okay.
so I would just be there and I would try to learn. But I thought it would be easy, but it is not. It is so difficult, and I just learned a very simple line, which meant "Pouvez s'il vous plaît anglais." It just means
Can you
do
speak
you
English, please? Yeah.
yeah, and then they're just like petite petite, and then that's how I started my conversation because I couldn't learn French that well. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Well, I mean, that's fine. But how was your experience there? So, coming from India, where you see a lot of sort of different problems than in the U.S., and then also going to France and getting exposed to this new aerospace environment. How did that translate to you creating your venture? Did you think that had an
um
impact on it, or were you already thinking about doing this long before you came to the U.S.?
oh no, it all started in 3rd year of my undergrad. So I was in my 3rd year of undergrad. That is when every student is trying to figure out what they should do. We are soon will be in an year we'll be graduating. And so I was one of them. I realized, oh, I have to figure out things like these. And so then, trying to figure out that, okay, do I need a job and stuff like that. It
Yeah.
did not really seem that interesting to me. That,
Hmm.
okay, you have to find a job, go from 9 to 5. And so that is when I realized that, oh, okay, jobs are not what I want. I want something more than that. I want to create and build something from scratch or work on something that's mine. And I always wanted to integrate aerospace with healthcare. I just did not want to be most solely in aerospace. And studying just 4 years of aerospace was not enough, in my opinion, because I did not get a lot of knowledge. Because aerospace is a wide aspect, as you might know as well.
Yeah,
That
100%.
not enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just try to create a foundation, but you still are not specialized in anything, or you don't know through things that good that you would start something.
Yeah, you don't
And
have practical experience to build something
yeah,
from scratch. Yeah,
so
100%.
yeah, so I tried hands-on experience there, but I had a personal experience where we were stuck in traffic in an ambulance in India, and it did not end well. Like, we tried, the ambulance tried sirens and horns and all the different kinds of things, but in the end, one of the most important person in my life lost their life because of that, because we were just not able to reach on time. And I still remember the thoughts when I was, in that ambulance, that if I could just have something which I can fly through, or do something that can make me reach there faster, or have the necessary equipments in the ambulance, since ambulance do not have everything. And it was hard to cope up with that loss in my life, but um, I guess I just moved on, and I tried to think of it as an opportunity to work on. And I already had that idea of integrating aerospace and healthcare, and trying to figure out something in drone technology. But it was not until I returned from France that I actually got an opportunity here in the US to start working on it. So it was in August of 2018 when a startup UC class was beginning. And again, it was a pilot class. It was the first time that college was having a startup UC class.
Okay.
And it was not even like a program, it was more like a club. I mean, you do not have to pay for it. The professor was not getting any money to teach that class.
Yeah.
So it was like his proof of concept, where he's trying to say that, okay, it does make sense. Students really are willing to come here. And so I was in that class, and I started off without having any expectations. I was just like, I always wanted to try something like this. Why not start?
Yeah.
And so while I was doing my masters, I started going to that startup UC class, and it was amazing. That was the area, that was the class where I knew more, got to understand more about business, about how you grow a business. I mean, literally, you have 1,000 ideas in your mind, but the only thing that comes between your idea and it becoming a success is the implementation,
Yep.
which is a very big thing. And so that class made me realize that just having an idea is not enough. You need to act on it, not just technically, but you have to be sound in business as well. You need to understand how a business works. And even though you feel that it's a problem, you have to make sure that people around you, that the customers really want this. Those were the aspects that were introduced, and that were the things that I learned, where I started doing I started doing customer interviews. I started going to the EMS, because I knew those were the people who would be using these, and things like that. And so yeah, that was the beginning of something which led to me. So the first time that I ever pitched my idea in a competition was IQ pitch competition that happened on 3rd April last year. And so in the same class, one of my friend, not one of my friend, like he was an acquaintance, now a friend, he wanted to be a part of this, because he found it to be an interesting idea. And so we started doing this together. In IQ pitch, we're there with around 171 other participants. There are so many students there, and you're just there and you're just doing your best. And I still remember I had no voice because I was sick, but I did my best to explain to people and things. And at the end of the day, we did not just win one, we actually won 2 awards.
Wow, congratulations.
Yeah,
That's
so we
amazing.
got, yeah, so our college has its own UC Ventures Lab, which was inaugurated in August of 2018. So, it just all fell in place. They started the innovation hub in 2018. I started going to startup UC class in the same year. And in April 2019, when I got this, I got incubated to their venture lab, where they give you a small seed investment of $5,000, and then you get expertise, comments, and their feedback, and they help you brainstorm and figure out more things as you move on with your startup. And apart from that, I actually got another award, which was worth 2,500, which was from UC Office of Research, which was just for the startups that are actually doing some social impact, trying to do work on creating a better, social environment around the people. So yeah.
Wow, I'm amazed. That's awesome. Yeah, that's really cool. So tell me a little bit more about sort of where you guys are in this time right now, and sort of, given all of the outbreak of coronavirus and probably the need that there's going to be for sort of taking care of patients, and how the system could be really deployed worldwide to help people. I know, for example, that China has been using drones, but instead of for medical emergencies, at least this is what I know, they've been using it to control the population and to sort of check that everyone's using, face masks and following like the right procedures. Have you tried, or have you attempted contacting any one of these companies or governments or anyone willing to need technology such as the one you're developing for emergency response?
So if you talk about current situation, COVID-19, um, our drones can be used. I mean, like you said, in China, they used it for two different reasons: disinfecting large areas. Those were the agricultural drones. And the other one, as you said, to make sure that people are not really, together and things like that. What is interesting is I recently read this article last weekend, which said that police in Chula Vista, I think it's in California. I know it's in California. They are using drones to make sure that to actually act as loudspeakers so that people are not together, because they will, like, California is another place which is actually growing in cases of COVID-19 cases. So yes. So what another thing is, they have an international response team and a drone response team which works effectively, which is located in Florida. It is an NGO which is trying to analyze the situation of COVID-19 and create different solutions via drones. So like you said, the number one thing that I did as of now is contact the AIRT response team, trying to figure out if I can be a part of that. And that way I can, work my way around and try to use my drone. Secondly, because I got to know that California police is doing this, it's just with drones, drone technology, there are so many ambiguities around it. Like, one of them is that right now US is trying to ban the Chinese drones because it thinks that it is getting the Chinese drones gets information which are private to the country.
Yeah.
And so currently the drone I have, it does have a few Chinese components. In fact, the California police is actually using DJI matrix or something, which is,
It's like the
again,
most common. Yeah, I know.
yeah. So that is one thing. The second thing is I'm in Dallas area right now. Um, Dallas has it does have cases. I'm not saying it doesn't. It's just the governor here is not really trying to do anything about it. He doesn't. He has not even put a shelter in place. Statement out there.
Yeah.
And so I'm still trying to figure out if I should contact the Dallas police, because even if they do not want my drone, I can buy an off-the-shelf drone and try to integrate it and make it into something which has a camera and has a loudspeaker and allows them to do exactly what the Chinese drones did, where they just are like loudspeakers trying to tell people that do not be together in this place, move, move. Because I have literally seen here that no one is doing social distancing that much. Like, it's not really that much into place. So
I see.
yeah, it could be helpful.
Yeah. Sorry, please keep going.
No, that's it.
Oh yeah, I mean, the situation is just going to keep on getting uglier as time goes by, and I feel it would be a great idea if you could contact, local governments, counties, and and also other companies, organizations, hospitals. I think that'll be really cool for a couple of reasons, right? First of all, it's the humanitarian reason, right? You'll be really helping people on this huge global pandemic that's a big problem everywhere. But other than that, you could also get a lot of brand recognition and perhaps, really learn a lot more about technology deployment in real,
Yeah.
sort of like environment by working closely with other organizations that really need your technology right now. So I would really suggest you keep on, try to talk to everyone. And if you need my help, I can definitely try getting you in contact with someone. I can try my best, go on LinkedIn maybe and see if who we can talk to. Yeah.
Do you have contacts? Where exactly do you have contacts?
I don't really have a lot of context in the healthcare industry specifically, but hopefully we could spread this video around and try to reach people on LinkedIn and see if any other companies would be interested in working with you to deploy this technology. Perhaps I could send an email to Purdue University. They have a huge aerospace lab. Maybe they know people. And if there's anyone in the healthcare industry who watches this video, hopefully they will be able to help us with bringing this technology to people.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
so that's out there. If you need my help, we can talk about that later.
Mhm. Yeah.
Okay, well, and then I guess how far along are you guys in? Sort of, have you developed a prototype yet? Do you have a product? Have you tested this already? How far along are you?
So when we started this, and there are different paths that a company can take, and one of them was trying to build it from scratch, is one of those things that we tried working on for at least 4 months, and we
Yeah.
realized that we're not well equipped to do that. And so we shifted to buying an off-the-shelf drone, trying to modify it to our use case
Mm-hmm.
and using it, because that is just a proof of concept. And in the future, we of course envision that we will be developing our own drones. And so right now we do have a prototype. We bought Taro X6, which is an off-the-shelf drone, which has the payload capacity of 11 pounds, which is pretty good.
Pretty good.
And the one thing that is lacking is we do not have a camera on it, but it's not that big a deal because we can always add camera to it.
Yes.
We have the AED box, which has the four emergency medical supplies, which is Narcan, AED, bleeder kit, and EpiPens. So that is all in the place. The only thing is, like you said, testing. So we were in our testing phase where I was supposed to test it with a community in Loveland, Ohio. Since I studied there, I had contacts, and I built relations whereby they agreed to help us. So we were supposed to do it in March, end of March, but as you can see that the travel is restricted, there is no such thing going on.
Yeah.
So it's all in the halt phase. But I see this COVID-19 as another opportunity for another deviation to the same kind of technology that we are trying to implement. And so um, let's see, I'm really hoping that I could do something about it, because there is a demand for it, there's a need for it, as we know. But yeah, there are quite a few
100%.
challenges.
I
Yeah.
think so. I think, definitely going to be a huge challenge, especially now that everything's on hold. But I see that this product could have a huge impact on people's lives. So,
Yeah, right
uh,
now.
keep pushing, keep trying to talk to people, and you'll do really well. This is something that's really neat. So yeah.
Yeah.
And I guess to wrap it up, what sort of advice would you give people who are trying to become entrepreneurs? Would you mentioned you use all of these resources in different competitions and things out there. What would you advise young kids who want to become entrepreneurs?
What would I advise? Just follow your heart and don't believe that you cannot do something that people think you cannot, because it's too impossible. Because I think everything you dream of, you can make it a reality. It just really depends on what path you go through and uh, what choices you make. And never be scared of pivoting, because I think that is a very important part of being an entrepreneur, because we always try to figure out the right things. We become so focused on our idea that we lose sight of that maybe that if we pivot a little bit, it could even be better. So never be afraid of pivoting from what you were actually trying to do.
Okay,
So yeah.
that's really awesome advice. And then, so finally, how do you see your venture going in the future? Like, what are the next steps for you to grow this business and to build your venture?
Um, uh, I have had a few competitions where I've participated, won a few, did not win a few, but learned a few things, got a few connections. Recently, there was this Women Business Entrepreneurship National Council conference. It is WBENC, which was going to be held in June of 2020. I don't know if it's still happening or not. But so I applied there and I got accepted to that conference, which where you actually go for a week to Atlanta, participate in the conference, learn from the people who are leading in the industry, and then pitch your own idea. So I was looking forward to it because it's another kind of opportunity, something which is very different than what I've ever discovered until now. Apart from that, while this was in place, I also applied to Y Combinator. It is a it is a VC in Silicon Valley.
Mhm.
So their results are expected sometime around mid of April. And I believed that that was the biggest break that would have come if we were accepted to the venture there.
Yeah, I see.
Apart from that, being an international student, it takes a lot more efforts than a normal US citizen to actually be an entrepreneur in a foreign country. I cannot be a full time entrepreneur. I have to have a job
Yeah.
um, because of my visa restrictions. But if I do get $1 million investment, I can turn my visa into an entrepreneurship visa, which allows me to be a full time entrepreneur. So those are the challenges that I'm still working on. Um, so as of now, these are the short-term goals, which I'll soon get to know in a year or so. But long-term focus would be implementing this prototype, this technology in US, of course, with only highly populated cities, but also in very populated countries like India and Singapore and Thailand, because those are the ones that need it the most. There's a lot of need where there's so much of congestion and people cannot find their way, and ambulances are stuck as well. In fact, I went to New York in 2019, December 2019, in the time of Christmas, and I actually saw an ambulance being stuck for a minute just on one of the crosswalks.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So, I mean, congestion is a real problem in today's world, and it's not going to deplete anytime soon,
Yeah.
considering we are just buying more cars, the economy is increasing,
Yeah.
everything that's been going on. Yeah. It's so, yeah. So I just hope to deploy it into places which actually need this kind of technology.
That's absolutely true. And so what would be your final comment or any questions you have? Um,
Uh, Final comment on this interview.
yeah,
I really enjoyed talking to you, and I would love to know more
thanks.
about you as well.
Sure.
I mean, I cannot believe that I do not remember, us meeting or talking when we had the opportunity to meet
Yeah,
face to face. Apart from that, this is amazing. I mean,
thanks.
this is a good way of letting people know what different entrepreneurs are doing, because I don't think many entrepreneurs try to be. I mean, you cannot really talk about what you're doing, on social media
Yeah.
for many reasons. One of them being legal, that you do not have a patent or things like
Hmm.
that. So yeah, it's
Yeah.
really encouraging.
Yeah, that's awesome. Hopefully, the idea behind this podcast is to just, help you guys really share your ideas to the world and use this opportunity to create content and put your word out there to people. If hopefully after watching this video, we can get someone who can help you in developing this technology, that would be
Yeah.
awesome. So one thing I'll ask you is if you could send me your links to social media, to your website, and to everything else. So I'll post that in the description section. And so we can have people also follow your
Yeah.
work and what you do. That'll be super cool. And thank you very much for the call. I'm sorry that we had to like squeeze it in time, so I couldn't really talk too much about myself. But we'll definitely take that for another time.
Yeah.
But yeah, super nice meeting you. So everyone watching this interview, please follow Bhavika. She has, all of her content is going to be posted in the description section. And, hopefully these drones will really help everyone overcome the situation we're going through right now with the coronavirus. But hopefully it will be over soon. And we have great entrepreneurs like you who are out there helping others. So yeah, so thank you very much. And we'll talk soon. All right.
Thank you so much.
Thanks.